Have you ever just stared at a blank page, totally paralyzed and convinced you have zero original ideas? Well, today we're diving into Austin Kleon's Steal Like an Artist. It's a book that completely flips the script on how we think about creativity, and trust me, it's a game changer. Let's get into it.
You know, if you make anything at all, art, music, a new business, even just a really good email, you've probably been asked this question. It's like the central mystery of being creative. But what if the answer isn't some big, complicated secret?
Whoa, that's a pretty bold statement, isn't it? But Kleon isn't talking about plagiarism here, not at all. He's pointing to a much deeper truth about where new ideas really truly come from.
And this one idea is so incredibly freeing. Seriously, creativity isn't magic. It's not about pulling some brilliant idea out of thin air. It's about being a collector. It's about seeing what other people have done, finding what's worth stealing, and then remixing it into something that's uniquely yours. It just takes all that pressure off to be 100% original.
So, with that pressure gone, how do we actually get started? Well, it all begins with the shift in your thinking, adopting a new mindset that really just gives you permission to start making things.
Think of it kind of like your own DNA. You are a remix of your parents, your grandparents, all your ancestors. Well, the same thing is true for your ideas. You get to choose your creative ancestors, the books you read, the movies you watch, the artists you love. Your job is to be a curator, a selective collector of really good ideas.
And Kleon gives us this super practical method for doing just that. He calls it building your creative family tree. You just start with one person you really admire. You study them obsessively. Then, you find out who they admired. And as you start climbing these branches of influence, you realize you're part of this huge, incredible lineage. It makes the whole creative process feel a lot less lonely.
Now, let's be clear. This is not about passing someone else's work off as your own. Not at all. This is about practice. Kleon says copying is like reverse engineering something. You take an engine apart to see how it works. You copy your heroes to get inside their heads, to try and see the world the way they see it.
Ever feel like a fraud? Like you're just totally winging it? Yeah, that's called imposter syndrome. And guess what? Literally everyone feels it. The secret is that you don't wait until you feel ready to get started. You fake it till you make it. You just start doing the work. And it's through that process, through the making, that you actually discover who you are.
Okay, so you've got the right mindset. That's huge. But now, how do you turn that into a real daily practice? Let's talk about moving from mindset to actual method.
This is a really powerful technique. Physically separate your workspaces. Have one analog desk with zero electronics, just paper, pens, sticky notes, whatever. This is where you get to be messy and just play. Then have a digital desk for all the editing and publishing. This simple split stops your inner critic from judging and editing your ideas before they've even had a chance to breathe.
This is one of my absolute favorite ideas in the whole book. You know those side projects? The stuff you do just for fun when you're supposed to be doing your real work? Pay attention to that. That's where the magic is. That's your most authentic, curious self coming out to play.
Okay, you've got the mindsets, you've got the practice, but here's the thing. Making stuff in a vacuum isn't really the whole story. The next crucial step is putting your work out there for other people to actually see.
Ah, yes. The question that haunts pretty much every creator. We do all this work, but then what? How in the world do we find an audience? Well, Kleon's answer is surprisingly simple.
That's it, 2 steps. It sounds almost too easy, right? But step 1, do good work, well, that's incredibly hard. It takes that daily practice we talked about. But step 2, share it. That used to be hard, but now, thanks to the internet, it's actually easier than it has ever been.
So what does sharing your work actually look like? Well, it means not waiting for some polished masterpiece. Share your process. Share the messy sketches and the outtakes. Teach people what you're learning as you go. By giving your secrets away, you're not losing anything. You're actually building a community of people who feel invested in you and your journey.
This quote is just the perfect antidote to that fear of sharing. The real fear isn't that people are going to steal your ideas. The reality is, it's incredibly hard to get anyone to pay attention to them in the first place. So just share freely. Go for it.
And now for our final big idea, and it's a fantastic one because it's so counterintuitive. True creativity doesn't come from total, absolute freedom. It comes from limitations.
A blank page, an empty canvas. That thought that you can do anything, it's not freeing. It's terrifying. It leads straight to creative block. The solution? Don't give yourself infinite choices. Give yourself some rules.
Take a look at this number.
236. This is the total number of unique words that Dr. Seuss was allowed to use when he wrote the classic book, The Cat in the Hat. His publisher gave him a list and said, that's it. That's a huge constraint. But wait, it gets even better. His editor then bet him $50 that he couldn't write a book using only 50 different words. The result? Green Eggs and Ham, which became one of the best-selling children's books of all time.
And that's the whole takeaway right there. Limitations force you to be more inventive. They push you to find these clever, brilliant solutions you would never stumble upon if you had all the time and resources in the world.
This really gets to the heart of it. Creativity is so often an act of editing. It's defined not just by what you decide to include, but by all the things you bravely choose to leave out. It's about subtraction.
And ultimately, that struggle is what makes the work so compelling. We see the artist wrestling with their constraints, their time, their budget, their materials, their self-imposed rules, and making something beautiful, not in spite of them, but because of them.
So that's the path. See creativity as a remix. Build your daily practice, share your work with people, and learn to love your limitations. This isn't just theory. Just look around at what you have, right here, right now. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect idea. The only real question left is, what are you going to make?